Hi, welcome to the Weird Spot. This is my first episode doing this. That's pretty weird in itself. And what's this about? It's about life, and it's about being in those situations where you're at in your particular life, in your particular time, and all those situations that come up along the way. It doesn't matter if you're 15 or 80. We all have those weird spots where we're just trying to figure things out in life and we're not really sure what they mean and where am I supposed to go and what am I supposed to do. I was talking to it was really profound. I was talking to my son-in-law a couple of weeks ago, and he's got some career decisions to make in his life, and he's one or the other, and he said he was talking to his dad, and his dad said, don't you think you should have that figured out by now? And I was thinking, that is just a really absurd way to look at things. And of course, by the time you're 30, you should probably have it figured out. I guess. I mean, that's what we're told we're supposed to do, right? And that's the point of this, is like our whole lives we've been told to live a certain way and inside this box and do it a certain way and get an education, get a job, work the rest of your life, retire. And I'm at that point in my life where I'm at the other side of it. I'm on the downside of life. I don't know, if I'm lucky, 30 years left of my life. And I've come to the realization in the last, few months that I've worked my whole life. I don't have a whole lot. I'm one of those people that lived by, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow, so I'm going to spend my money. I'm going to have fun. And so I don't have really a whole lot in retirement. And I don't know if that bothers me or what it does. You know what I mean? Because I am at that point in my life where you would think I would have that figured out, and I should have figured it out a long time ago, and I haven't. And that is the least amount of my stress in my life. It's more of the fact that, going to work every day for somebody else and making them money. I know I get paid well for what I do. It's not really that. It's just, it's like a lie. It's like, if I could go back and I'm not one of those people. If I could go back and do it all over again and know what I know now, I don't want to know. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't want to know what I know now, because I would be 10 times worse, because I could probably take advantage of more things than I did when I didn't know. So the interesting thing is, if I could go back and tell myself one thing, it would be, don't chase stuff. Don't chase the career. Don't chase the money. And I know that's easy for me to say, and I say the same thing when I see people that just have way more money than I do, and they're like, just live life, don't worry about it. Well, they got money. It's easy for them to say. Me, it's a little different. I don't have money. I pretty much, if I want to keep going the way I'm going, I got to work pretty much till the day I die. And that's the simple facts. And that's probably true with a lot of people. I mean, like I said, I do make good money, but it's not going to make my end of life any better, because I didn't save. I didn't do the things you're supposed to do. And I will say that's probably the one part of my life that I did kind of live my way, is, I did what I wanted to do and had fun and enjoyed my life. And so the decisions that I made then are most definitely going to affect me the way that I finish my life. But with that being said, if I would have done it differently and chose a simple life and just chose instead of like the things that we think makes us happy, chasing those things, in reality, they don't make us happy. They really don't. They make us continue to chase and chase and chase, to where you get to a point where you're like, in my life, that I don't want to chase it anymore. I feel like if I could, like I said, go back, I wouldn't do any of this. I wouldn't chase anything. I would just live a very simple life. And if I would have been told that, and maybe listen to the people that maybe should have told me that, and I would have done things differently. I always felt like, you had to have this big house and this big paycheck, and, all the things that go along with that, the big car and a big bank account, and people are going to base your value as a human being on how much money you make. And it is such a lie, such a lie. It's so unfortunate that that's the way that we tend to live our lives, is based on how much money we make and the importance of how we are and our careers, how we go up the ladder and just keep going and going and going, and eventually none of it really makes a difference, because all the stuff that you have when you die that's so important to you, in probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks after you die, is going to be down at the Goodwill. It's going to be, being sold somewhere. Someone else's, those jeans that you paid, I don't know, a couple $100 for, someone's going to pay $3 for them down at the secondhand store. So the things that we value now mean nothing and they just don't mean anything. And so as we go through life, the important thing is just to understand that you only have one life, and take the time to enjoy the moments. Don't chase what you've been told to chase. I am in a job right now that it's no fun getting up in the morning and just like, oh my God, I don't want to go there. And I hear people all the time. Oh, by the way, I don't play the guitar. I just brought it along to rest on, and it's probably something AI told me to do. I don't know, but I don't play the guitar. Sorry if you came here to listen to music. I don't play the guitar. But probably something I should, you know what? It's a good symbol. I probably in my life, and I wish I could play music. I love music. Probably should have picked up the guitar and learned how to play it, but I don't even really know why I have this guitar. I know I have some friends that come over and they play it every once in a while, which is awesome. Probably like this exercise equipment over here. I don't know if you can see it. Bought that, because I was gonna do it every day, and probably did it every day for a few months and stopped doing it. But anyways, I lost track of what I'm saying. But if you could just choose a simple life and just do the things that figure out what you want to do in life. Chase what you really want to do. Figure out what your ambitions are. There's plenty of people, doctors, lawyers. I'm assuming that those people decided that that's what they were going to do when they were a young kid. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a policeman. I'm going to be a fireman. All respectable jobs, right? And if you have one of those, God bless you. And we need people like you. And we really appreciate what you do. And those are well-deserved careers. But you get sometimes to a point in your life where the struggle is real. You're that 9, 8, 10 hours a day that you spend at work, you put all your energy into it. That's what your motivation is in the day. If you're one of these people, this isn't for you. This isn't. You're at the wrong place. This is the wrong place for you, because you have it figured out. You love it. You got your life. You got everything you want to do, and that is fantastic. And I am happy for you that is the way you want to live your life. Again, if I had to start over, I would never choose what I've chosen. And if there's somebody young listening to this, don't fall for the trap. Don't chase the money. Chase the freedom. Chase the true happiness that you need in your life. 'Cause life, again, we forget how short life is. And if you spend your whole life in a situation that all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, geez, what am I doing? Why did I do this? Don't do that. Take the time to figure it out. Chase what is going to make you happy, not what you're supposed to do, because you're going to end up unhappy in the end. You're going to look back on your life and you're going to be like, man, I spent all that time at work. And that's where I'm at right now. I've spent all this time at work. And really, honestly, okay, material things, I have it. I have this guitar that I don't play. So yeah, material things. And I just think that if it's possible for you to really just think about what you're doing in your life and where you're going and where you're heading, and it's not too late to change it. It's not too late to change the thing that absolutely makes you happy, and not chase the things that you think make you happy, because ultimately, and you will hear this 100 times in your life, and money doesn't make you happy. Does money make things easier? Not really. It doesn't. Because all money does is make you want more. And when you have more, then you got to chase more money. And you spend more time at work, and you have more pressure at work. You have all these things that you have to do in order to keep up with the things that you have. And it's just not worth it. And that's why I'm here. I'm in this weird spot in my life right now. I ultimately am stuck, and you don't want to go and get to the age like me and be stuck and be real and realize like, oh my God, it's too late. I gotta, but it's never too late. It's never too late. There's always time. There's always time in life. Until there's no more life, right? So, just try to make those decisions in your life that are really you're passionate about. And if you're passionate about your job, that is fantastic. That is amazing. But I can tell you this, that passion that you have for that job is taking time away from your wife, your kids, your family, all the things that are truly important to you, that mean more than anything. And if you don't have that yet, someday you will. And if your career is the thing that's most important to you, it shouldn't be. Because as important as you think you are, all it takes is, I don't know, a bad quarter, a bad year, and you're laid off. And all that time and all that energy that you spent on that, for that company, working your butt off, working late, striving, doing everything that you thought was right, and you can still lose your job. And it happens all the time. I see people all the time on YouTube talking about how they've lost their job and they got to start over, and the whole age discrimination thing, and it's hard. I mean, it's hard. They work their whole lives and they put everything into their career, and it's over. And then you don't have to be old for that to happen to you. I'm old enough to probably gone through 2 or 3 recessions and a layoff and really hard times. And I wish, going back, 20 years now, I wish I would have figured it out then. I wish it would have been, you know what? Maybe it's time to change. Maybe chasing all this isn't worth it, because all I did was get right back into it. All I did was get that job, make that money, and here I am again, just right back in it. And back then, when I look back, I was probably just as unhappy as I am now. And you need those things. Obviously, you have to take care of your family. But I heard some guy say the other day, I was listening to it. It was so true. You don't need a job. You just need to work, and whatever that work is, to where you can get away from the 9 to 5, the rat race, and change your life and make it to where when you wake up every day, it's exciting, it's new, it's all the things that you really would really want in life. And now, again, I say if your job is really what you want in life and you go for it and you chase it, God bless you. I mean, we need people like that. I just don't want to be those people anymore. I want to enjoy my life. I want to get out of that rat race. I got to figure out a way to do it, and it's around the corner. And that's kind of part of this weird spot, my story, and how it's gonna transpire over, the next few months or year or so, and what I'm gonna do to change it, what I'm gonna do to get out of that existence of going and working for the man every day, and the 9 to 5 and the traffic. And when I go to work in the morning, I'll look over and see somebody in their car, and everybody seems so miserable. No one seems happy. No one, the joy is not there. And I hope I'm wrong. I mean, it's not really a whole lot to be excited about when you're going to work in the morning, so I can understand. But I just feel like there is more to life. And the thing that kind of really changed things for me was, I'm fortunate enough that my mom and dad are still alive. They're very elderly, and my mom is pretty ill right now, and my dad is very elderly, and he's in good health. And he was, I went up there a couple weeks ago to just kind of help him out with my mom, and he was talking about some things. And one of the things he said to me that just kind of took me by surprise was, he was an educator, and he eventually and was a principal eventually. And he told me it took him almost 13 years to get his master's degree, cumulative, his bachelor's degree and his master's degree. And he did it while he was, teaching and principal. He was able to become a principal under the agreement that he would get his master's degree. So it's a different time, obviously. And I was talking to him, and he said something to me that I was just totally shocked that he told me. He said, "I wish I wouldn't have ever done that." And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "I feel like I wasted 13 years of my life that I could have spent with my kids and my wife." And him and my mom did get divorced. So, there was a cost to that. And I see that so much today. And I never thought that that's something that I would hear from my dad. So when you hear something like that from somebody that I thought was, and he retired young. I think he retired when he was 58 years old. He put in 30 years, and he's like, "I'm done." And he's still alive. So he's had a really good life and retired and enjoyed his life. But he still says he wouldn't want to do that. So, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep coming to you guys. First of all, this isn't the normal set. I would be walking around, but it's raining outside. This is not the way I intended to do this first video. But I hope you guys come back. I will do this. I'm going to try to do it every week or so, and just kind of continue with my story. And I'd like to hear your guys' story. And it's not just about work. It's about life. It's about that weird spot that I was talking about, where we're at with our family, where we're at with our parents, where we're at in our relationships, where we're at with work, where we are in life, that weird spot that you don't know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you just don't know what direction you're going and where you're going. But I'm going to keep telling you my story, and hopefully you guys keep coming back. And I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to another episode soon. So take care. Welcome to the Weird Spot.